story of life in Cyprus begins with the land itself. It starts high in the Troodos Mountains, in the cool pine air of ancient villages where life is measured in seasons. It flows down through the fertile plains, the island's agricultural heartland, a world tied to the harvest and the soil. And it finds its modern expression along the coast, where the land meets the brilliant blue of the Mediterranean, and where most people now build their lives. And then there are the cities. Nicosia, the capital, a hub of history and government with a line running through its very heart. And Limassol, a city in constant transformation, its skyline increasingly defined by glass towers and international business. Within this single island, the land dictates different ways of life, different histories, and different futures. How does the farmer from the plain, the elder from the mountain village, and the young professional in the coastal city share this single, complex, and beautiful home? This is the story of Cyprus. A day in Cyprus begins not with a rush, but with a ritual. For thousands, it is the smell of coffee, strong, brewed in a traditional bricky, and the warm scent of bread and cheese pastries from a neighborhood bakery open since before dawn. The morning is a gentle awakening. Parents navigate the school run, a familiar dance of traffic and quick goodbyes. In the cities, office workers head to their desks, while in the villages, small shops raise their shutters, their owners preparing for a day of steady custom and conversation. The streets belong to everyone. Construction workers grab a kubes or a tirapita for a quick breakfast. University students fill the cafes near their campuses in Nicosia. In the quieter lanes of Larnaca or Paphos, older men, the papoods, are already gathered at their local cafenio, the traditional coffee shop, a glass of water and a coffee beside them, ready to discuss the news of the day. It is a routine as old as the village itself, a cornerstone of community life. This is the rhythm of ordinary life, a world away from the tourist resorts. It is a place that feels deeply lived in. The sounds are of conversations spilling out of shops, the distant ringing of a church bell, and the hum of air conditioners kicking in as the morning sun gains strength. In these small moments, a shared coffee, the patient queue at the bakery, the island's true character reveals itself. To understand Cyprus is to live through one of its days. The morning is for work and errands. The cities are at their busiest between 9 and 1. The roads filled with commuters, the shops bustling with activity. This is the time for productivity, for getting things done before the island's most powerful resident makes its presence felt. But as midday approaches, a subtle shift occurs, dictated by the Mediterranean sun. By early afternoon, especially in the intense heat of summer, the island takes a collective breath. The streets of Nicosia become quieter. In the villages, life retreats indoors. This is the time for lunch, often the main meal of the day, shared with family if possible. It is a time for rest. Businesses may close for a few hours, a tradition fading in the larger cities but still holding strong in smaller towns. This siesta is a practical, age-old adaptation to the climate, conserving energy for the evening. As the sun begins to lose its intensity around 4 or 5 in the afternoon, the island reawakens. People head back to work or begin their evening routines. This is when the streets fill again. People go shopping, meet for an afternoon coffee, or take their children to the park. The coastal promenades, the Molos in Limassol, or the Finikoudi's in Larnaca come alive with walkers, joggers, and families enjoying the cooler sea breeze. But the Cypriot day does not end at sunset. Evening is the prime time for socializing. Dinner is often eaten late, at 8 or 9 o'clock. Afterwards, the cafes, bars, and restaurants fill up once more. Friends meet for drinks, families go for ice cream, and the conversation continues late into the night. The cool night air is a reward for enduring the day's heat. This daily cycle is the fundamental rhythm of life, a pattern shaped by centuries of living under the Mediterranean sun. Nicosia, or Lefkosia, is the island's capital, its largest city, and its administrative and financial heart. For most of its residents, life here is a familiar European routine. They work in government offices, banks, and law firms. They study at the university. They shop on modern high streets and in large shopping malls. They live in apartments in bustling central districts or in family homes in sprawling, quiet suburbs. The city is a blend of ancient and new. Within the 16th century Venetian walls are narrow streets with historic buildings and traditional craft shops. Outside the walls, the city is a modern grid of offices and wide avenues. Yet woven into this urban fabric is an extraordinary reality. Nicosia is the last divided capital city in the world. A United Nations-controlled buffer zone, the Green Line, has run through the heart of the city since 1974. It separates the southern part of the city, the capital of the Republic of Cyprus, from the northern part, the capital of the self-declared Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. For visitors, the Green Line is a startling sight. Streets ending in sandbags, abandoned buildings in a no-man's land, and the quiet presence of UN soldiers. But for the people who live here, it has become a familiar part of the landscape. They work in offices with windows that overlook the buffer zone. They shop on Ledra Street, a busy pedestrian thoroughfare with a crossing point, allowing people to walk from one side to the other. Life has adapted. Greek Cypriots and Turkish Cypriots, as well as tourists and foreign residents, cross daily through several checkpoints. They cross to work, to shop, to visit historical sites, or to meet friends. For the younger generation, who have grown up with the division, crossing the line is often a simple, practical matter. Yet for the older generation, especially those displaced from their homes, the line remains a painful reminder of loss. Living in Nicosia means navigating this unique duality, a life of modern European comfort lived in the shadow of a frozen conflict, where the extraordinary has become ordinary. While Nicosia is the political center, the lifestyle on this small island can change dramatically from one city to the next. Each major town has its own character, shaped by history and geography. Larnaca, with its international airport, has a relaxed, laid-back feel. Its famous Finikoudi's promenade, lined with palm trees, gives it the air of a classic seaside resort. But it is also a working city with a commercial port and a growing community of digital nomads. Life here feels a little slower than in the other major cities. Paphos, on the western coast, is steeped in history. Its economy is heavily reliant on tourism, and it is a hugely popular destination for British expats and holidaymakers. This gives the city an international and at times very British feel, especially in coastal areas. But to truly see the diversity of life, one must move between the coast and the mountains. A family in a coastal apartment lives by a work schedule. Just a short drive away, a village family lives by the seasons. In the city, neighbors can be strangers. In the village, they are an extension of your family. This contrast between the bustling, modern, and increasingly international coast and the quiet, traditional, and deeply Cypriot interior is one of the defining features of life on the island. Nowhere are the changes in modern Cyprus more visible than in Limassol. Once known primarily as a port city and a center for winemaking, Limassol has transformed itself into a dynamic international business hub. The skyline is the most obvious symbol of this change, now punctuated by gleaming glass towers and high-end residential skyscrapers overlooking the sea. The city is home to thriving shipping, finance, and tech sectors. This has attracted thousands of expatriates and international companies, making Limassol the most cosmopolitan city on the island. Walk through the city, and you are as likely to hear Russian or English as Greek. This influx of international business has brought wealth and opportunity. It has created jobs, fueled a construction boom, and given the city a vibrant, energetic feel with a huge variety of restaurants, bars, and cultural events. But this rapid development has come with significant challenges for ordinary residents. The most pressing issue is the cost of housing. The demand from high-earning foreign professionals has driven rent and property prices to levels that are increasingly unaffordable for many local Cypriots. A young couple starting their careers may find it almost impossible to afford an apartment in the city where they grew up. This has created social tension and a debate about the city's future. Is it for the international elite or for everyone? Limassol represents both the promise and the pressures of modern Cyprus, a city embracing the global economy while trying to hold on to its local identity. To escape the pace and pressures of the coastal cities, one only needs to drive inland, up into the hills and mountains of the Troodos Range. Here, in the small villages, a different Cyprus reveals itself. Life slows down, the air cools, the modern world is present, but it hasn't erased a more traditional way of life. Many villages are built of stone, their narrow, winding streets designed for donkeys, not cars. At the heart of every village is the square, the platea, usually home to the church and the local cafenio. This coffee shop is the center of social life, especially for the older men. They gather here every day to drink coffee, play tavli, backgammon, and discuss everything from politics to the price of olives. It is the village's living room and newsroom. Life here is built on close-knit community relationships. Everyone knows everyone else. Neighbors are like family, always ready to help out, but also fully aware of each other's business. The church plays a significant role, not just as a place of worship, but as a center for community events and festivals like Easter, the most important celebration of the year. Many of these villages have struggled with depopulation as younger generations left for jobs in the cities. But some villages have found new life through agro-tourism and wineries, while others see families returning from the cities seeking a quieter, more affordable life. Despite all the modern changes, one institution remains the unshakable foundation of Cypriot society: the family. The concept of family here extends far beyond the nuclear unit. It is a powerful network of grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins, central to a person's identity. This is most visible on a Sunday afternoon, This is the time for the family lunch, a sacred ritual. 3 generations will gather around a single table, often at the home of the grandparents, the Yaya and Papu. The meal is a loud, joyful event that can last for hours. The table will be laden with food, roast meats, potatoes, salads, and countless smaller dishes, much of it prepared by the Yaya, who often remains the culinary heart of the family. The conversation is constant, flowing from family news to gossip to passionate political debate. The bonds are practical as well as social. Grandparents play a crucial role in childcare, often looking after their grandchildren while the parents are at work. This is not seen as a burden, but as a natural and vital role. In return, adult children are expected to care for their elderly parents. It is still relatively uncommon for the elderly to live in nursing homes. They are usually cared for within the family. Financially, families often support each other. Parents may help their children with the down payment for a house or support them through university. While modern life is placing these traditional structures under pressure, the deep-seated belief that family comes first remains a core value in the lives of most Cypriots. The Cypriot economy is a mix of old and new. For decades, the pillars of the economy were tourism and construction. Along the coast, life for many still revolves around the seasonal influx of visitors. Tourism provides thousands of jobs, but this work can be precarious, with long summer hours and winter uncertainty. But the modern economy is changing. The professional services sector has boomed, particularly in Nicosia and Limassol. The island's favorable tax system and EU membership have made it an attractive base for international companies, leading to a high demand for lawyers, accountants, and financial professionals. The shipping industry, centered in Limassol, is a global powerhouse, and a dynamic tech and IT sector is emerging, creating new opportunities for a highly educated younger generation. The public sector remains a major and highly sought-after employer, offering job security and good benefits. Small, family-run businesses are the backbone of the economy, from corner bakeries to local tavernas, often passed down through generations. In the countryside, agriculture is still a way of life, though it contributes a small percentage to the national GDP. Farmers grow citrus fruits, olives, grapes, and the famous Cypriot potatoes. For many, it is a life of hard work for modest returns. The world of work in Cyprus is a reflection of the island itself, a blend of seasonal tourism, traditional family enterprise, a stable public sector, and a dynamic, outward-looking international business community. For anyone living in Cyprus, the relationship between salary and cost of living is a critical calculation. While the island can be an affordable holiday destination, living here presents a more complex financial picture. The biggest single expense for most people is housing. In recent years, particularly in Limassol, and to a lesser extent, Nicosia, rent and property prices have surged. A 2-bedroom apartment in Limassol can cost over €1,500 a month to rent, a figure out of reach for many on an average local salary. The average monthly salary in the private sector hovers around €1,500 to €2,000, meaning a significant portion of a household's income is consumed by rent alone. Day-to-day expenses add up quickly. Electricity is a major cost, especially during the long, hot summer when air conditioning is a necessity. A family's electricity bill can easily double or triple between June and September. Fuel is also expensive, and with limited public transport outside the main cities, owning a car is essential for most people. Groceries can be a mixed bag. Local seasonal fruit and vegetables from a market can be very affordable. However, imported goods, from breakfast cereals to specific brands of toiletries, are significantly more expensive than in many other European countries. So what can an ordinary salary buy? For many, life is a careful balancing act. They can afford a comfortable but not extravagant lifestyle. They can enjoy the island's social life of cafes and tavernas, but may struggle to save a significant amount, especially if renting in an expensive city. The dream of owning a home, once a cornerstone of Cypriot life, is becoming increasingly difficult for the younger generation. This financial pressure is one of the biggest challenges of modern life in Cyprus. In Cyprus, food is culture, community, and love. The island's cuisine is a delicious record of its history, blending Greek, Turkish, and Middle Eastern influences. The day often starts at a bakery, a place central to every neighborhood. Here, you find not just bread, but a huge array of savory pastries like halloumi-filled helimopita or olive-filled eliopita, perfect for a quick breakfast. The most famous Cypriot culinary export is, of course, halloumi, or helim in Turkish, the salty, squeaky cheese that can be grilled or fried. But for Cypriots, it is just one small part of a rich culinary landscape. The heart of Cypriot social dining is the mise. This is not an appetizer, but a full meal of up to 20 or 30 small dishes that arrive in waves. A mise is a journey through Cypriot cuisine, from dips and salads to grilled halloumi, sausages, and then meat dishes like souvlaki and sheftalia. A meza is designed for sharing and long conversations with friends and family. Sunday lunch is often dominated by souvla, large chunks of lamb or pork, slow-cooked on a long skewer over charcoal. The preparation of the souvla is a ritual in itself, a task usually undertaken by the men of the family. Food is tied to the seasons. Summer means fresh figs, grapes, and watermelons. Autumn is the time for the olive harvest. This connection to the land is still strong. To share a meal in Cyprus is to take part in the most important social ritual of the island, a celebration of family, friendship, and the simple, profound pleasure of good food. To speak of life in Cyprus is to speak of its two main communities. While they share the same island, their lives have been largely separate for nearly 50 years. For Greek Cypriots in the south, identity blends Cypriot heritage with a strong connection to Hellenic culture. The Greek language is spoken, and the Greek Orthodox Church is a powerful institution, its traditions marking the key moments of life. Family names, cultural festivals, and the education system all reflect this deep-rooted connection to the wider Greek world. In the north, for Turkish Cypriots, identity is a similar mix of Cypriot character and a connection to Turkey. The Turkish language is spoken, and Islam is the majority religion, though Turkish Cypriot society is largely secular. Their culture shares many Mediterranean traits with their Greek Cypriot neighbors. The importance of family, the love of food, and the ritual of coffee, but their historical and cultural reference points are different. Despite the political division, a shared Cypriot heritage can be seen in many aspects of daily life. The love for certain foods, like halloumi/helim, is common to both communities. The traditional kafenio/kavehan is a center of social life on both sides, and a deep attachment to the island itself is a sentiment shared by all Cypriots. The division has created two distinct societies. Yet under the surface, the echoes of a shared past and a common island identity can still be found. The younger generation of Cypriots grew up in a world very different from their parents. They are the EU generation, comfortable with technology, fluent in English, and connected to global culture through social media. Education is highly valued. Cyprus has excellent universities, but there is also a strong tradition of studying abroad, particularly in the UK and Greece. Many young people leave the island for their university years, broadening their horizons. The big question is always whether they will return. For those who do come back, the challenges are clear. They face a competitive job market and the high cost of housing. This can lead to young people living with their parents into their late 20s while they save money and establish their careers. But there is also a sense of optimism. A new generation of entrepreneurs is creating startups, opening modern cafes, and finding new ways to blend Cypriot tradition with contemporary ideas. They are politically aware, environmentally conscious, and more likely than previous generations to have contact with their peers from the other community. They are navigating the complexities of life in Cyprus with a dynamic, outward-looking perspective, determined to build a future for themselves on the island they call home. Life in Cyprus is not without its challenges. The high cost of living, especially the affordability of housing in the major cities, is the most pressing concern for many families and young people. Salaries in many sectors have not kept pace with the rising prices, creating a financial squeeze. The summer heat can be draining for residents and strains the island's water and electricity resources. Water scarcity is a long-term environmental challenge. The island's reliance on cars has led to significant traffic congestion in the cities. The economy's dependence on tourism and construction makes it vulnerable to external shocks. For the younger generation, the search for stable, well-paying careers can be a source of anxiety, and hovering over everything is the unresolved political situation. While daily life is peaceful, the division of the island remains a source of underlying uncertainty and a barrier to realizing the full potential of the island as a whole. After all the challenges, the question remains, why do people stay? The answer almost always begins with one word: family. The powerful, supportive network of parents, grandparents, siblings, and cousins is a source of emotional and practical strength that is hard to replicate anywhere else. Then there is the quality of life. It is the safety, the ability to walk anywhere at night. It is the climate, the 300+ days of sunshine a year. It is the food, the culture of hospitality, and the importance placed on social connection. It is the sea, the ability to escape to the coast in minutes. For many, it is a deep, almost primal connection to the island itself. It is the childhood memories of summers in the village, the familiar taste of a grandmother's cooking, the specific light of a Mediterranean afternoon. It is a sense of belonging that runs deeper than politics or economics. Different people will give different answers, but for most, Cyprus is not just a place they happen to live. It is the center of their world, the place that holds their memories, their relationships, and their entire sense of who they are. Beyond the beaches, ruins, and political boundaries, the real Cyprus exists in the families, communities, and everyday routines of the people who who call this Mediterranean island home.